So this episode is a bit different. We're gonna watch a case study for a campaign run in the US to engage more voters to go voting. And you will see that the company responsible for it is called Boost Mobile. You have to know that Boost Mobile provides no contract, prepaid phones, mostly to lower income customers. So once you know that, you will understand what was their strategy to position their brand in the US elections and really provide something different from any other companies. Enjoy, and we talk in 2 minutes.
There are complaints about the fewer number of polling places.
The racially and economically oriented placement of polling sites is disgraceful.
I spent 9 hours in a gym packed full of hundreds and hundreds of people.
We're the only advanced democracy in the world that systematically put up barriers and make it as hard as possible for our citizens to vote.
Low-income and minority voters face longer lines and have fewer places to vote. Boost Mobile stores are located in these communities. So we did the unprecedented. We turned Boost stores into voting stations. To make this possible, we had to work within the same system that was suppressing votes. We called 817 counties to find officials willing to stand up against inequality. And on November 8th, people voted at Boost Mobile stores across the country.
So our storefront's been open since 6 a.m. this morning, and voters have been floating in and out.
This wasn't just an election-themed ad campaign. We were actually inside the election process. And beyond our stores, we advocated for the unheard, shining a light on unequal voting access with voting rights groups and election officials, and partnering with top hip-hop artists to inspire people to get out and vote.
To make sure that we're safe, to make sure that we get out there and get our votes out.
Everybody has a voice. Just let it be heard.
It's an amazing campaign. I think it's just incredible. The idea is beautiful, but the strategy is even better. There were not enough voting booths in poor districts of the US. So their business objective was to position their own company as a telephone operator for the low-income class. But they couldn't just say, come to us because you're poor. That doesn't work as a company. But their thinking strategically was, if we can help people feel they have access to the very same services and every other American thanks to us, starting by voting, what would happen? People will trust them. They would feel helped. And because of that, Boost Mobile could grow its brand and at the same time provide a real help to American society. So the guiding idea of this case is simple. If we help people vote in an easier manner, not queuing for hours, then we help them reach this level of service and this level of confidence that they are not second-class citizens. The guiding idea of the entire campaign, we decided to open voting booths in our mobile stores. But the execution was quite complex. You can imagine that a company opening voting booth is not something that happened overnight. They had to ask permission to the authorities. They actually contacted 817 counties in the US to get that sort of authorization. And they ran a campaign, a marketing campaign, to tell everyone who would be interested by voting in their booth that day they could do it. They partnered with celebrities, they organized concerts, charity events, and that's where the corporate, the company, really took on board a social mission and made it happen. This is quite particular to the US in the sense where public services might sometimes lack of efficiency, and corporates are used to step up to raise the level. What I wanted to show you in this case study and in this particular campaign is mostly the strategy behind it. If you watch case studies regularly and always ask yourself, why does the company actually produce this project and tell that story, you will make amazing steps in your mind to develop new and better strategies and probably as well come with amazing creative executions.